up, Bulls Nation? Welcome into CHGO Bulls pregame, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download their app. Be sure to use promo code CHGO when you sign up to get those amazing perks. I'm Peck. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. My guy, Big Dave. Bow! BAWL Sports. We are at CHGO_Bulls. Will the Goat Gottlieb at the United Center tonight. Not the only person holding it down for CHGO at the UC. We'll get to that in a minute. And subbing in for Joey, it's our wonderful producer, Steven. Steven, what's up, my buddy?
Really excited to be here. I think we could win this game.
I don't.
Hey, they play up and down to their competition. This is
do.
playing off.
They just beat Denver, man.
Yeah.
Anything's
they could beat
possible.
Denver,
Well, but apparently now everyone beats Denver. Have you seen that team recently?
We set the trend. That's right. We set the trend. And then everybody said, oh, that's how you do it?
I don't know about that.
And then we went to them.
I don't know about that.
I'm
Bulls
closer
TV,
to the fact.
Jeff, Sean, Colin, Flipside, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in. Glad you're here. So, Will the Goat at the UC.
Yes, he is.
You know who else is at the UC, Big Dave?
Who is this? Matthew Peck.
The member of our family who lives over in Aussie land, Mark K. That's a picture of him, me, and the GOAT hanging out at, of course, the Goose Island Brew House. Last night, we had some beers, had some dinner.
Yes.
He just sent me these photos. There he and the GOAT are hanging out courtside right now, getting ready for this Bulls-Kings game tonight. He's getting the VIP treatment, meeting Chuck Swirsky, the one and only.
Nice.
And our good friend Tim Sinclair.
Always dressed
Mark K,
fashionably.
making the rounds. He told me he's going to keep me posted. He's going to decide at some point during tonight's game whether or not he's going to hustle over here and join us for postgame tonight.
Okay. He might be sworn by too many people, man.
It's possible. Either way, y'all are going to see Mark K sitting on this very set for tomorrow's show. We will be here in studio with Mark K.
Yes, yes.
Maybe he will grace us with his presence tonight for postgame. Either way, so awesome to finally get to hug that man when he and the GOAT and I had dinner last night. It's just so awesome. It's like when we took the Paris trip. Just Bulls fans from all over the world being brought together by the Bulls. It just makes you freaking smile.
It reminds me of when I got Jimmy was here. Shout out to
Jimmy UK.
Shout out to Jimmy. It reminds me of when he was here. You know, first time, first experience. You know, like we said to him, like that's the stuff you take for granted because we live here.
Yeah.
You know, so it's nothing to us. But we don't think about people who have never, ever, ever set foot, not alone in the city, but in the stadium.
Right.
You know? So it's a little mind-blowing to me to be like, man, that's a grown man, you know, and he's now living his 6-year-old dream, you know what I mean, right now. And I feel so good for him, man, because that has to be wonderful.
For granted that we can just pop over to the United Center whenever.
Just show up.
Those of us who live in Chicago, even people who live in the far-reaching suburbs of Chicago.
Right, correct.
Make a day of it, make a night of it, go to the UC, go to the Manhattan. You mentioned it. He also just tweeted this picture of himself rocking a CHGO shirt with a caption on Twitter saying, "I'm levitating."
Yes.
And like I just had a thought. I was like, man, he hasn't even gotten to the point yet where the lights go down.
Yeah.
Serious by Alan Parsons comes on. And then Tim Sinclair does the start. I mean, that moment for everybody the first time, damn. It's like I'm jealous of people who get to experience that for the first time. Because it still happens to me. I still get goosebumps when I'm in that building for those starting lineups. But
I remember
Mark's about to get his brain blown the F up.
I remember it just takes me back to the first time I saw the introduction, you know what I'm saying, and heard it. Like, the Bulls weren't even there. Like, I was there for a watch party for the finals.
Yeah.
And just even that experience gave me goosebumps, you know, just dealing with that. And this is why I tell people, no, don't change the introduction ever for moments like this. You know what I mean? Guys like Mark K who have never, ever seen it. Guys I talked about when we were in France talking with my guy Easy, and I was like, man, he was like, I want to move to Chicago. I'm really trying to move there, man. And I was like, oh, okay. What's a good reason you want? Go to the Bulls.
Yeah.
Bulls game. I want to see the Bulls. So imagine his reaction, you know, seeing that moment for the very first time. Like, that has to be surreal feeling just to be in that. Like, and he covers the team. You know what I mean? Like, he really, truly covers this squad. So to be there to see that up front, and, you know, the Bulls are giving him that VIP treatment. So he might get stuff on the court. You know what I mean? Anything can happen right now. But you know, there's only one thing I'm waiting for. It's only one thing I want to see. I got to see him and JC. I got to see it, man. I have to see this.
If he and Cowley just bury the beef and become like besties while Mark is
friends,
here.
Dog.
It's hilarious. Also, I do know that he had lunch with one of his other Bulls Twitter nemesis, C-Red Fred, the other day.
Yeah, I wish I was there for that.
Actually, today he and C-Red Fred, and I think Fred's pal Doug. Doug Donis was also there.
Shout out Doug Donis.
Shout out to our friends, Fred and Doug. I mean, it's hard to hate someone when you're face to face with them.
Yeah. Especially when they got love for your favorite players. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that kind of love. I told them that
their Jimmy Butler tweets are identical.
When I told you that when I had them both on the podcast, I said to both of them, after they finished, I'm going to get y'all together.
Yeah.
I'm going to get y'all to like each other. It's going to happen. This is going to happen.
And so when Mark and Goat and I were hanging at Goose last night, he said he did extend an olive branch email to Cali before making the trek over here, and that Cali was responsive and cordial.
They're going to lunch, man. You know they're going to go to lunch at dinner.
Burying the beef.
Bury it, man.
That's what CHGO does.
That's what it is, man.
No beefs.
Love for the Bulls first. I hope they do argue and get all that shit out and then have a beer.
Speaking of no beefs, Mark did try the so we always promote the Smash Burger at the Goose Island Brew House when we're doing our spots for them, which is delicious, by the way. They do offer it in the Impossible Burger variety.
Oh, okay.
Which Mark had last night.
Okay.
Because he's a veggie.
And you were angry about it, weren't you?
I pointed out to him that was an option. Because the Goose Island Brewhouse menu,
That's
good
not
on
what
them,
I asked him.
is not super friendly towards vegetarians and vegans, because this is a Chicago restaurant. Mm-hmm. Chicagoans, we eat meat, damn it. Mm-hmm. But they did have a few non-meat items, but I did point out, I was like, oh, hey, the Smash Burger here is really good. You can get it with a Impossible Burger.
Mm-hmm. He did not answer my question, Steve.
What was the question?
I said, did it make you angry?
Of course it did.
Thank you very much.
Honestly, it made me angry. I didn't realize he was vegetarian.
Yeah, he is.
Dude.
He is. That made you angry?
It bumped him out a couple notches for me.
I did see on his Twitter account that he also had some deep dish today. So he and Fred and Doug must have gone to a pizza spot for lunch. Now that he's had deep dish, I didn't even see where he got it from, but now he's got to try tavern style. Because that
Agreed, yes. That's
people,
Chicago.
out-of-towners are always like, oh, Chicago deep dish, which in certain moments I love Chicago deep dish.
Shout out Pequod's.
But, of course, tavern style on the regular.
Yes, on the
For every
regular.
time I order deep dish, I probably order tavern style 7 or 8 times.
Yeah. So
that's
the ratio.
We got to try that, and we can get like a party size and put veggies on one side of it, and then meat on one side.
Why you got to throw it away like that, bro? Why you got to put it way over here on that side?
Yeah.
Why can't they all
like
be in harmony?
Time you tried to be nice to me and got me a pizza that was just smothered in mushrooms and olives and had no meat on it.
I didn't know that he didn't like mushrooms or olives, and I literally got both of those things on the pizza, and it was covered in that shit. And his face was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" I didn't know. I tried to do something nice, but I'll do it next time like I always do for him. Just find the meatiest thing and get that for him. That's what I usually do.
It's the thought that counts.
Yeah, I tried.
Mostly.
Pizza was delicious.
Colin in the comments said, as long as he's not anti-beer, it's all good. He is not.
No. What was
Mark
he drinking?
and Goat and I put down a number of delicious Goose Island beers last night.
What was he drinking? Because his was out of
Mark was drinking the Matilda.
Okay,
which
the fancy,
which we know and love. But then I convinced him to switch from the Matilda to have a couple of the Honkers with me. And I gave him the whole spiel about how the OG Goose Honkers Ale, which you can only get on tap at the brew house and at the tap room here in our West Loop neighborhood, because they don't bottle it anymore. So I was just, refilling my my Honkers, which is like an English bitter ale. What?
It just sounded hilarious. That's all. Refilling my Honkers just sounded,
Yeah, those Honkers.
We know. It's just the way you. Thanks for not leaving me out there. Steve
the waterfowl. Okay,
it just sounded hilarious.
Yeah, and I can't remember what Goat was drinking.
Mushrooms on a pizza is amazing, Scott. Amazing.
Mushrooms on anything are terrible.
On anything?
Mushrooms are terrible.
Would you eat? They come on a cheesesteak. Yeah.
They don't come on a Chicago-style Italian beef sandwich.
They come on a Philly cheesesteak, though.
Are we in Philly?
You gonna be there?
Philly cheesesteaks can F right off.
Really?
Yes.
They are delicious. I've had a Philly.
I don't even put mozz on my Italian beefs. A lot of Chicagoans put mozzarella. Mm-hmm. Dude, bread, beef, gravy, peppers. All you need.
That's it? Okay.
All you need.
All right.
All right. We got to take a quick break to tell you all about our friends at DraftKings. I see some people talking bets. Alexis, we hitting tonight. Shout out to you. Shout out to our guy Joey, who's not here with us. I am DraftKings pick of the week, throwing out Zach LaVine first bucket, plus 650. Zach's been balling a lot. He's been taking a lot of the Bulls' first shots in this recent stretch.
Yes, he has.
Those are pretty good odds for Zach LaVine getting first bucket. There's one of my DraftKings pick of the week. Also, speaking of Zach balling out, I don't hate taking the over on Zach LaVine's combined points, rebounds, assists tonight at 37.5. He's been averaging like 30 over this recent stretch of games. You know what else he's been doing?
What's that,
He's been pulling down 6 to 10 boards a night.
Ain't that wild?
Which I love.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I'm taking Zach LaVine over 37.5 points, rebounds, assists combined tonight. My DraftKings pick of the week. But also, a little bit of love have to be for that first bucket plus 650. Just a reminder, as always, new customers, sign up with that promo code CHGO at DraftKings Sportsbook. You'll get that incredible offer of putting $5 down on any NBA action to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, DraftKings same-game parlays are those no-sweat variety of parlays. So, if your parlay doesn't hit tonight on Bulls Kings, no worries, because you're going to get a bonus bet back if it misses.
That's right.
Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. I also saw somebody in the comments saying I'm trying to flip side. Shout out to our guy. Said, I kind of want to bet money line on the Bulls tonight. Am I crazy? Someone talk me out of it.
No.
Yes.
I won't talk you out of it.
I will talk you out of it. Don't do it. Well, the Bulls have a nice 2-game winning streak coming into tonight's action. They are playing at home. This Kings team is formidable on the road, though. Did you know this was as recently as like a few days ago when I was listening to a Hoop Collective episode, they were talking about the best road teams in the NBA, and there were like 3 East teams that have winning road records. Boston, Milwaukee, Philly, predictably.
Yes. At
least as of whatever that was, 4 or 5 days ago, the Kings are the only team in the West with a winning road record.
Kongs?
It's wild.
What?
Wild, right?
It's amazing. Wow. They've been great, man.
They play well. So I'm not going to talk you into putting money on the Bulls money line tonight. Speaking of tonight's action, the Bulls did get a couple updates from Billy Donovan at shoot-around this morning. Steven, do we have that tweet from our guy Will the Goat, who was at shoot-around today? Updates on Javonte and Caruso. So Javonte, maybe some good news here. Still dealing with that knee. He's been out for a while. According to Billy, responded well from yesterday. Did non-contact running and cutting for the second straight day. So that was Monday, Tuesday.
Okay.
So he practiced Monday, then doubled down and practiced again Tuesday. Still no contact, but running and cutting on consecutive days. And Billy said day 2 of consecutive days for Javonte of running and cutting, his body responded well.
You know what? That just made me smile because I'm not used to hearing it.
Positive injury updates on Bulls players?
Not just positive injury updates, positive knee injury updates on Chicago Bulls players. That's what, because he had the same problem, and it just was going down that same cycle of, he'll be back soon.
Right.
We're going to wait a little bit longer. Give him another 2 weeks. Then he's not running or doing anything yet. Like, I felt like I was going down that same rabbit hole. And then, Lord and behold, they threw me a lifeline. They said, all right, we're not going to step on all your hopes and dreams. Here's a little something right here. So good for him. That makes me smile, makes me very happy that he's able to do that. Hopefully it leads to him, making the next move where he's actually playing in practice, 3-on-3, 5-on-5, however you want to do it. But whatever gets him back to this team, because you'll always need a Javonte Green.
The other injury update from Billy was Caruso, who's still been dealing with that nagging foot injury for the last month or so, said, it's an injury that they're going to need to manage for Caruso through the rest of this season, and he'll just have to, pain tolerance and play through it. Might miss a game here or there, and then was expected to play in tonight's game, and then today he popped up as questionable with illness, non-COVID illness, and then later today ruled out for tonight. With a non-COVID illness. So it was like good news and then bad news.
Yeah.
Bulls are without Caruso tonight.
That sucks.
Speaking of which, he had been inserted into Billy's starting lineup in these last couple of weeks worth of games. Without Caruso tonight, it's Ayo instead of Pat who gets put back in the starting lineup.
Interesting.
So the Bulls rolling with Ayo and Bev and Zach and DeMar and Vooch.
Wow. Now, why is that? Why is that?
Checking DeAaron Fox, maybe?
That is interesting. I'm sure that has something to do with it as well. But you just would think that's the automatic move. Maybe it's also has to do with he's more comfortable with Pat playing off the bench because he's shown a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, as of recently. Not the last game, for God's sake. But he's shown a little bit more as of recently about the way he's played. So maybe that could be part of it, but I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised he didn't go with him, man. But, hey, nothing wrong with going with Ayo in your starting lineup. Let's see how he matches up with Patrick Beverley, man, because that's going to be interesting to see how that works. He doesn't have to worry about setting the plays. He's playing the Ayo that I love, which is the Ayo who he don't need to set up the plays or nothing. He just goes out there and does him. That reminds me of him last year. You know, we just out there doing him, man. And he doesn't have to set up anything, nothing. Nope, get these steals, get these buckets in between the game. You know what I mean? Like, he's really good at those things. So let's see.
On the Kings side of things, clean injury report, but they will be without the services of one Trey Lyles tonight, who is serving his 1-game suspension for a little skirmish that happened in Kings-Bucks on Monday night.
Rowdy down?
He and Giannis were getting into it a little bit. And then Brook Lopez came over and said, hey, you, get the F away from my superstar teammate Giannis. You aren't allowed to touch him. And then Trey Lyles and Brook Lopez got into it a little bit more. Yeah. Brook Lopez got a fine. Trey Lyles got a 1-game suspension that he will serve tonight. But the kicker to that whole story is that after that game, Mike Brown, who, credit to him, we talked a little bit about it on our show Monday previewing tonight's game. Incredible job with this Kings team this season.
Yeah, true.
He basically sat there at the postgame podium and said, we're not taking that.
100%. You know, I don't know what happened, but so we ain't taking no shit from nobody. Trust me on that. And they all gonna have each other's back in there. That don't mean we gonna go out there and start something. We're not. But we're gonna stand up for ourselves and each other.
Mike Brown, man. I mean, like, in the span of a week, he called out De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis for being – yes, young vets, but vets who needed to speak up and lead more.
Right.
When after a game that the Kings had won, and Mike Brown said, "Yeah, we may have gotten the win, and I'll always take a win, but I'm not happy about the way we played tonight."
Right.
And it falls at the feet of Fox and Sabonis.
Yeah, I love that.
And he's calling him out like that, but then at the same time, when something like this goes down, is saying, "Hey, don't you dare! You don't mess with my guys."
Hold up. Don't you run up on me with that. I love that.
It's great.
I love that. Again, that's showing his leadership as well. So if you're wondering who's the leader of the team, who's doing that, it's him. You know, it reminds me of Tibbs when he was, you know, being the leader, you know what I'm saying, of the Bulls. Because that sounds like something he would say. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like something he would say, probably without the curse words, you know what I mean? Probably a smidge nicer, but it sounds like something that would come out of his mouth right there. So I love that kind of stuff. Because he doesn't want them to relax. You know, he doesn't want them to rest on the record that they have. And he knows they're young. They don't have experience. Teams are going to come out their ass. That's what's going to happen. So he's setting the tone like, hey, man, it ain't going to be no easy win over here in Sacramento, which is something nobody has ever said. But, hey, it can happen now, man. But I'm excited. I'm not going to like them tonight, but I'm excited for the Kongs. I am.
Shout out to Armadillo hanging out in our comments who said, hey, Kings/Bears fan here.
Shout out.
Paint's always open all day for every team playing the Kings. Our defense is our offense. You know, we did talk about that Monday as well, about how this is the best offensive rated team in the NBA, Sacramento, but that they are also bottom 5 in defense.
Yes.
Could be a shootout on our hands tonight. This Bulls offense, shout out to our guy Will the Goat, wrote a column about it the other day about how little sneaky post-All-Star break, Bulls offense has climbed to 8th in this recent stretch where they've been putting some wins together here and there and are shooting better a little bit. All that said, still don't feel great about the Bulls getting a win tonight, which leads us to the guy closing and getting things done for the Kings all season long, and that's De'Aaron Fox.
Ooh.
We all, as Bulls fans, loved every second of DeMar DeRozan being arguably the best, if not the best, clutch scorer and game closer of the NBA last season. Take a look at what Fox is doing in clutch game situations this season, and it either meets or exceeds in some cases what DeMar DeRozan did last year, Dave. Leads the league in clutch time scoring at 171.
Damn.
For the full 21-22 season, you see there DeMar scored 157, one shy of Embiid, who led the league with 158.
Right.
But Fox still has 15 games left.
Yeah.
And he's already broken that mark.
Shattered that. My God, man. This is, again, why DeAaron Fox is still there and why they didn't make that trade for Halliburton.
Yeah.
And that was a big debate. You know what I mean? Is it Halliburton, is DeAaron Fox? And as I kept saying, I was like, I can't really let go of 28-8. That's really hard for me to just say here, to get rid of it. Not to say Halliburton isn't bad. I think that trade worked out for everybody really, really well.
Yeah.
But stuff like that is why, because that's DeAaron Fox. He's been like that, he just hasn't been able to showcase that on a consistent basis because of the team that he's on. Now he's got a better team. Now he's got a better coach. Now it looks way better. You know what I'm saying? The Magic game is the first one that comes into my mind because there's no way they were in Orlando. They shouldn't have won that game.
Right.
But DeAaron Fox refused. And then when he hit that three-pointer from damn near half court to send it to overtime, like he's a special kind of player in that fourth quarter. So it's going to be interesting watching it tonight. If it's close, will that matchup happen again? You know DeMar is going to be ready, and you know DeAaron's going to be ready, and don't forget about the attackery either. Right. So it's going to be interesting to see that, man.
And speaking of DeMar being ready, credit to him, he's not having the same insane level of clutch scoring guy season that he's had last year.
True.
But he is still fourth on that list of clutch points total this season. It's De'Aaron Fox in first, Jimmy Butler in second. I can't remember who's third, but DeMar is fourth with 129 cluch points this season. So DeMar is still right there in that mix.
There.
Further context, though, to that field goal percentage, you saw DeMar's last season was 53.5% on clutch time shots, especially for a mid-range guy. That's insane. He did that on 86 total field goal attempts in clutch minutes last season.
Impressive.
That is damn impressive. You know what freaking De'Aaron Fox is doing? 54.2%, so a shade better than DeMar's clutch shooting percentage last season on 120 attempts thus far. He's already taken 40 more clutch minute field goal attempts than DeMar this season 40? And is doing it at a slightly higher mark.
Jeez. Damn.
That's insane.
That is really insane.
No, my math is bad. That's almost 60 more Wait, hold on. No, 86, 120.
Either way, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, so nearly 40. Yeah. Nearly 40 more attempts than DeMar on a better field goal percentage.
Either way, it's ridiculous, man. Like, he has really, truly been special. And he's been amazing to watch. And to do it in that fourth, like, how many wins that has left to. Like, think about the 176-175 game, you know, that they had against the, was it the Clippers? I believe it was the Clippers that they played. And he and Malik Monk were going at it. That was all De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk, man. That whole game was those two guys going back and forth, back and forth. And so that's probably, again, why the clutch time points look so ridiculous, is because when you have games like that and you're the dude who cannot miss. And as I keep saying, guys, when you're a left-handed player, you have an advantage. That's an advantage. So a guy with that kind of speed, that kind of handle, that kind of shot, but can still get to the bucket and be physical when he goes up and score, he is a load. He is a handful. So, hey, man, the Bulls have good backcourt defensive players. They're going to need all 6 of them fouls tonight, man, because it's going to be something for sure.
It's going to be tough. And, you know, like Fox obviously doing the bulk of the heavy lifting for the Kings in close games. But, I mean, I saw somebody in the comments mentioned Sabonis' stat line against the Bucks the other night. Just like, dude's a triple-double threat every single night.
Every night, bro. Yes.
I'm pretty sure he had one when the Bulls played the Kings earlier this season and lost, and De'Aaron Fox had himself a chill night where he didn't shoot particularly well and only scored like 18 points.
Yeah.
I mean, this Kings team, it'll be interesting to see if this Bulls defense that has maybe had a somewhat inflated boost to their defensive stats recently, and to their credit, and some arrival of Pat Bev effect and putting Caruso in the starting lineup effect.
Sure.
Defense has been better. Can you slow down this juggernaut of an offense? And can you do that without Caruso's services tonight?
That's what I was going to say. That's where it's going to really hurt.
Yikes.
Not having him out there for that against that guy. But like you said, you still got Pat. You still got Ayo and Kobe, who is solid defensively. Not saying he's going to stop him, but he's solid defensively. So they still got options, you know what I'm saying, to give him a headache. And Pat will, if it gets that bad, yo, Pat, you know what I mean? Handle your business, bro. So, yeah, it's a lot of people they could put on him, but it's hard to stop a star player from being a star. That's just really hard. So just as long as he don't go nuclear on you, you know what I mean? Like that 18 points, let's go for that again. That was very attractive to me. But let's put a W in front of that, though, and not the L. Let's try that.
Yeah, I mean, for real.
Ooh, look at those numbers, Colin. Damn, 23-17. Yeah. That's disgusting.
Just a casual 23-17-15.
That's just not right.
My goodness.
It's not right. It's not right, man. Oh, my God. He's a special basketball player. And glad to him making that all-star team, too. I mean, he's been deserving. But, again, his teams have been ass. So it's hard to put that, you know what I'm saying, in the all-star game. But he's been deserving, man. And he's getting all the love that he really, really deserved his previous year. So I'm happy for him.
Do you think Fox is going to be in that mix for sixth man, or not sixth man, most improved this season?
Great question.
I feel like it's going to be a tough category this year.
Yeah, only reason I say no is because he's putting up the same kind of numbers.
Yeah.
He's just having success as far as the accolades.
The Kings as a team are now experiencing team success, and he has a lot to do with that.
Correct. So maybe it's something maybe like third team All-NBA. You can argue something like that. But most improved, I don't see that. Well, you know, Lowry's got that on Lizak. Clank, clank. That's done.
Damn.
But yeah, like he's been that good where you could even have that argument though and put him in those categories. And like I said, it's not even laughing matter when you say third team All-NBA.
No,
because his team is winning because of it, man. So shout out to him. Man.
You know, took a very tough competitive loss to the Bucks on Monday. Meanwhile, the Grizzlies got a win, so they did drop from 2 to 3.
Yes,
by a game. Also, that news broke earlier today. It looks like Ja Morant is right around the corner, going to make his return to the Grizzlies and back to game action. Wish all the best for him. So maybe it's not a given anymore that the Kings are just going to, we'll take this 2 seed if nobody else wants it. Thank you very much. Might need to earn that 2 seed in the West. But, man, I mean, going to be fascinating to see what happens there. But, man, just happy for this Kings team and their fans.
Yes, and the fans. Yes, man. Yes. Like that beam. Get it up. Do your thing, man.
Post-Dynasty Bulls fans have had it rough. Post-2004 Kings fans have had it equally rough/rougher.
Dude, I looked it up. I was like, when was the last time they won 50 games? Can you guess the last time they won 50 games?
I know their last postseason appearance was 2005.
There you go.
That's within.
That's the last time they won 50 games. 2000. Steve, how old were you in 2005?
I was 12.
I think Joey might have just, been figuring out the soft spots in his brain at that time. Like it was, man. That is tough. It's been real tough. Hey, and real quick, shout out to Anthony, because I see him keep posting this up here about his niece's birthday, celebrating her birthday out there on the West Coast. Hey. And he posted that more than once, so I know he wanted the love and the shout out. So shout out to your niece, man, on the B-Day, sir. And hopefully we get that win for her as well, man.
I love it when older family members teach younger family members what being a Bulls fan is all about.
That's what Unky Matt does.
Mandatory stuff.
That's
right.
You
know Unky Matt's holding that down.
On it, baby.
Shout out French Bulls TV, who just pointed this out. I hadn't thought of this. Io's starting tonight and Pat Bev starting tonight.
Yeah.
That means we get 2 from Chicago's from Tim Sinclair.
Get me to a television.
In the starting lineup intros.
Get me to a television.
Which means, let's go.
Let's
do
it.
Time. We will be right back here for postgame. Maybe Marquette's going to be here too. We'll see. Either way, we'll be here. Hit that thumbs up before you head out if you were watching along with us on YouTube tonight. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you after Bulls Kings. See you, be good.
Peace.
Good luck.